Wolf is now going to join us here. We are going to jump into the losers match now. Sounds a little bit depressing, but it is the way it is here. The losers match between the two losers that played earlier. It is going to be MarineLorD versus Solar.
Yep. So one of the circuit's top-tier Terrans, and you know, this is a defending Star League champion that he's up against here in Solar. And in a way, yes, this is MarineLorD's test, but I feel like the bigger test was his matchup earlier against Trap. He was unsuccessful there. This matchup is going to be a lot harder, I'd imagine, and it's actually somewhat of a surprise to many that Solar's even in this losers match in the first place.
Yeah, I expected Solar to get out actually in first place from the group, but either way, he's going to have to fight through MarineLorD and then Trap later. These guys are bantering, man, in the chat. You know, MarineLorD, Solar saying, hey, you're #1 Terran in EU, and MarineLorD's like, yeah, in EU. And MarineLorD's like, maybe you thermal is better than me. Solar's like, no, you're better. And MarineLorD's like, okay, now I kill you in Trap. Solar's like, oh. And MarineLorD's like, I have to relive the Nation Wars. You know, that's my storyline as a player. I'm the Korean
killer, the Korean killer, yeah. Man. We'll see if he can live up to that name. This is going to be a really tough matchup. Let's not forget, Solar is a really great English speaker.
Yeah, Solar is, we talked to him actually recently in English, really good English.
Shoutouts to O Gaming TV, the French fans are watching.
I think that's Ale.
Yeah.
France.
Raise the baguettes for this one, because this is where it all comes down for our foreign Terran, our French Terran. He's got 1 life left in this tournament. He has to win 2 best-of-3s in order to get out. He failed his first one, but he could easily bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. So we are going to be jumping into game #1 right now between these two friends here. MarineLorD versus Solar for the losers match going into Frost.
프로스트로 떠납니다.
Here we are on Frost for game #1 of the losers matchup. In the top right, the purple Terran from France. It is MarineLorD.
Going for a quick gas, in fact, here in this first game. Solar is his opponent to the bottom right. And, you know, he is the defending Star League champion. He made it to the finals of the cross-finals exhibition match, and now is at the point, you know, in his career where I feel like it's even shocking he's at the losers match right now. Stats really can run for his money, and Stats also dominated that rosters of Protoss, looking a lot stronger than I feel, you know, I really thought he was going to be in this group. I still expected him to get out, but at the same time, I mean, he looks really on form right now.
Yeah, definitely practicing for this one. You know, he said he's never won a Korean League, right? He wants to come into KeSPA Cup and potentially win this one. So you can tell he's put in the work, the hard work necessary to win a tournament.
I mean, really, he's only won 2 tournaments in his whole career. Think about that, with how consistent he is. As the Korean commenters were saying earlier, you know, his consistency is what he's known for, and you know, never really thought about it that way, but it definitely is. I mean, he's always like top 8 of every tournament, pretty much, and top 4 of many others. But winning the WESG qualifier tournament was, you know, not, you know, it's not a league, it's a qualifier, and then he won the cross finals of season 1, which again is also not a league. It's not really a tournament, it's just a set of exhibition matches. He wants a real title, and this could be his opportunity.
It definitely could be. Gets out in first place. Going to play the second place advancer from Group D that we will be having tomorrow. So it's kind of interesting. I did want to ask him who he wanted to face in the round of 8, but I actually didn't get a chance to ask a question in that last interview.
Yeah, I think the Korean cast questions went a little bit deep there, a little bit further, and the fangirls were all gathering around. They really were. We actually had a camera set to show them, but then they all ran and hid, even though he told them not to. So
just fangirl things.
Yeah, just fangirl.
Pretty standard.
Pretty standard. Well, in this game, MarineLorD went for a quick gas and is now going into the starport. Obviously, His expansion is up. Solar went for the Overlord speed, so we're going to scout this very soon. With a tech lab that's coming up, we could even potentially see Banshees, but it's more likely it's going to be for a faster stim. I don't think MarineLorD will show us mech in this best of 3, but anything is possible. TY showed us yesterday that it is indeed viable.
Yeah, and even said in his interview that he thought it was extremely strong and OP nowadays. So maybe we will be seeing that mech style against Zerg in the future, hopefully.
Ooh, grabs that Reaper. That's very good here for Solar, taking that Reaper out early on. Marine's on the way here 1 by 1 and a medevac, but he has not started stim. He has the resources for it, so let's keep an eye on that, as he is currently hiding that from us and also from this Overlord if he's going to research it or not. The Overlord can see that there is nothing being researched on that tech lab. This is kind of suspicious, you know? He absolutely has the resources for it, but he's not making it. He's continuing to produce Hellions.
Even a Viking here, which, you know, he did it in the last game against Protoss to try to stave off the Warp Prism. But against Zerg, it's even better, you know. So that Pole Viking, you get rid of all the Overlords in the sky and you hide what you're doing.
This drop is going to struggle to find big damage here, but if he can get a few Widowmine shots off, that would be nice. Oh, that was a sneaky move. Drops one on the low ground. Can he get it burrowed? Does not look like it was close, though. Draws Lings away. This one will burrow.
Let's see what he can hit here.
Yeah, gets 6 Lings. You know, that's some damage. It's not what he wanted, but
yeah,
better than his drop in the TVP matchup against Trap.
MarineLorD is a big, I guess the word is greedy with his Widowmine placement. You know, he tries to get it into a really just fantastic spot, and then he burrows it just a little bit too late, and it always gets picked off. So
yeah, I would really agree with that sentiment. I think that's a good way to put it. This Hellion push is pretty strong, and he is getting an armory, so he's going to have this Hellbat attack. He did eventually get stim. That is on the way here. It's obviously very late. But if he hits this with stim, with these Hellbats, I mean, he's going to have so many of them. It's going to be a lot tougher of a Hellbat push to deal with than we normally see. And if Solar cuts the Baneling Nest out, he might have some trouble. And I love the denials here we're seeing with this Pult Viking, stopping these Overlords from scouting what he's up to. It's really important to deny vision, and he's doing a great job of that right now. Also, you know, hiding the stim a little bit. Like right now, Solar is like, what are you doing exactly? I'm not really certain what you're doing. Okay, this is going to be the first big tell. Obviously, he's just going to get these Hellbats to start putting pressure, then do a follow-up push once stim is ready.
He's controlling these Hellbats. He really needs to move that Liberator. Okay, there he goes.
Yeah, it's really important to keep that healthy for the push. Also, let's not forget, because he's adding these reactors now, he doesn't have a lot of Marines. Like, he has stim almost finished now, 2/3 with like 4 Marines.
Oh, he gets the lift just in time. Unfortunately, this is going to have to be canceled.
This is going to have to be canceled. Easy peasy.
Needs those Hellions to get back if he wants to have any chance of defending this.
They are coming back.
He's going to try.
He's going to try to defend it. I don't think he can. There's the cancel.
He can still get the Lings at least and, you know, try to rebuild it. Well, actually, a lot of Lings do get away.
You know what's really interesting about this type of play is perhaps I incorrectly assumed this was going to be a push because that's how we see Hellbats used in Korea. But he's kind of making this into a composition more than a push. Like he's clearly not trying to hit a timing with stim, right? It's done, but he's still adding barracks, and he wants a 3rd base. He's getting 1/1 upgrades. He added 2 E-base earlier. So this might throw Solar off a little bit, as it even threw me off, because he's not going to hit with stim. He's not going to hit a timing attack. But he has this Hellion composition that's very reminiscent of Wings of Liberty. You know, just a small amount of Hellions clearing up creep, harassing, pressuring, forcing the Zerg to make more Lings. I like it a lot. It's not what we normally see in Korea, but it's definitely pretty unique.
This time?
Oh, no, he does not. He has stim, he can stim, and he can fight with SCVs here. The Hellions are on their way back, but this is going to be quite a bit of damage, especially with +1 attack finishing for these Lings. Hellions come in. The Lings can just go to the main base here. He needs to lift that one as well. Okay, he does. We'll clean this up. The Ling run-bys are not normally able to get this much damage.
Yeah, 13 SCVs is way too much at this point in the game. I mean, he already denied the 3rd base. He had to remake the 3rd base in the main this time. Creep spread is quite nice. Solar actually is getting a 4th base and a macro hatchery at the same time. And the Solar's just in a really good spot right now.
MarineLorD has +1 attack and armor coming up. Unfortunately, it's just going to put him on even. But he really, once he hit he made a ton of barracks and all those reactors. He's making 9 Marines at a time right now, so with the economy he's about to have from his triple mules that he's going to be dropping, that orbital just finished. He can also lift that and move it over pretty soon. He does have this large, amount of units right now too with these Hellbats. He has a strong army, a really, really powerful one. If he hits this attack, which he's sending across the map right now, before Baneling Speed starts to get some damage done, it could snowball. This is going to be like a parade push, This feels very Wings of Liberty, what we're watching here, plus Hellbats, obviously, with how many Marines he's going to have across the map with Medivacs, Stim, and 1-1. Combat Shield's finished as well. In just a second.
Very well, and here we go, trying to get the surround. A nice smacker here. He's right on the edge of the creep, which is just a really nice position. He's going to be able to shut down this base, I think.
Okay, Baneling Speed is done. He wanted to wait for that. The splits here are amazing. He's called MarineLorD for a reason. Great splitting here. And the reinforcement power I talked about, he's not actually rallying that across the map right now. And he is going to send it across right now. All those Marines he has back at home, actually fighting these Queens off creep as well. When that next wave hits, it's going to be very powerful. But does not save these Marines here. That does weaken this push, but he still has all these Medivacs alive.
Yeah, look at the units here. He's 19 Lings and 2 Banelings. He's getting all of his stuff out now, but if MarineLorD can hit right now, he can continue with a bit of this damage that he's doing.
If he just keeps targeting Banelings and splitting like he is, he can make this work. Killing a lot of Lings right now.
Really nice
that
Widowmine!
Oh, that actually did a lot of damage to his Medivacs and killed one, in fact, that one, so that's a bit unfortunate. He's not rallying his units, and sometimes that's a good choice. In this case, he's not reinforcing quickly, so he's kind of hitting with these waves. After he gets like 2 sets of Marines out, he comes back with this reinforcing power. So his attack will end for now, and it's not truly a parade push in the technical sense. This Widowmine is alive, actually, and that's a lot of Banelings nearby.
Could maybe try to bait, when Solar's not looking, a bunch of these Banelings in, see if he can.
Oh man, look at this free split. Splitting is really good, but even still, Speed Banes are quite cost efficient. He really wants to bait, and he's gonna get the bait. Okay, he kills that at least. But the, Banelings are hitting Widowmines and not Marines.
Oh, like nice little run by. Oh, needs to run away from those Widowmines. Gonna catch a small group of Marines over on the left side. +2 attack finishes meanwhile. There is a bunker, yeah. Needs units in there.
Empty bunker, not enough. He should just drop these units right into the bunker. Still, a lot of SCVs will go down. He can even do some hold position. Good stop micro there by MarineLorD to bug that out and minimize the damage. At the end of the day, when the dust clears, though, the Ultra's Cavern is on the way. Adrenal Glands are on the way. He was able to sneak a hive out while holding that base. Now taking even a 5th base. That Widowmine now scouted as well.
Yeah, generally, for the Terran to be in a good spot with Ultras on the way like this, you need to have done some amount of damage, and the damage that he's found is pretty small. I mean, he traded well, like he took decent trades, efficient trades on creep even, against a lot of these Zerg units over here, but outside of that, he hasn't found much damage. He hasn't dropped anywhere in the main or in the back. Wow, he's really paying attention to this. He's got units over here too, so he should be able to defend this.
Yeah, we'll defend this, no problem. And I'm just going to set the wall back up. He has this large bioarm, but now Solar is so comfortable he can keep doing this run-bys. He's going to have Ultralisk tech soon. And it feels like MarineLorD is going to try to use Widowmines as kind of the answer, split his Marines, and try to kill Ultras with Widowmines. It's not going to be easy. He's starting to add Liberators in as well. And he finally has that stable 3-base economy. And this attack, I mean, it's not going to be able to stick around much longer. I mean, this is just such a large Zerg army. Once the Widowmine shots go off, he just bulldozes this army back. And is even starting to kill some of these expensive Medivacs, killing reinforcements as well. MarineLorD's push, I think, is essentially over. He has to go home. But if he stops the push, that means that the Zerg is so comfortable, so free to do whatever he wants. He's doing the lift now to relocate his main to the 4th. Something we've seen a lot in Legacy of the Void, as mineral patches don't have as many minerals as they used to. And 3-3 is coming up. I feel like that's going to be a window of opportunity for him to try to find some damage when he has that upgrade advantage.
It's still going to be pretty hard, It's definitely going to help him out, but with the chitinous plating out, and he's already got those Ultras out and ready. I think he's got about 4. So, anytime that MarineLorD tries to go for a push, he's going to be shut down pretty hard. Needs more Widowmines, probably, and some more Liberators would be nice as well. We do have the Spire on the way here for Solar as well.
True, all true. Let's see what this Ling run by attack over here does. I mean, he's trying to actually drag the Widowmines into the Marines. Does some damage to the Medivacs. The Marines actually make that a massacre, though. Those Lings not being very cost efficient at all. You can see all the blood on the ground here, even still. 3-3 is finished. This is the window of time we're looking at here. The wall is down. There's so many ultras here with queens to transfuse, though. Can he even fight this, even with his upgrade advantage? It's going to be so difficult. He has 4 liberators about to pop out. That's going to be helpful too defensively against this attack here. He needs to get them into position.
Oh, not microing his Marines here. Doesn't have all that much either. Needs to siege up those. Oh, what a huge hit there actually on the main lanes.
Still, there's no units here. The SCVs are retreating now finally. We'll kill 1 Ultra here, but he's lost so many SCVs over here at the left side as well. So his army's out of position to fight these Ultras. The Ultra's able to escape here. 2 more Ultras on the way. He's even getting a Viper, which I guess will probably help him. He can either Blinding Cloud, which would be hilarious, or just go ahead and rank one of those Liberators. Blinding Cloud not really used in this matchup right now, but who knows? He could also kill the medevacs.
3 mules that just dropped to a small Ling run by. They do go down, and I mean those Lings are 2-2 with adrenal glands, really strong. They do damage so fast, and this is kind of what we've been seeing nowadays. Lots of run bys, lots of harassment with speedlings.
The creep spread is untouched as well. I mean, we're gonna get to a point where the creep is like going underneath these liberators in a moment here.
Bjorn was one of the guys that is so just focused on cleaning up the creep whenever he plays against any Zerg, like right from the beginning with his first drop. It's part of the reason why he goes for that build that he does all the time with the 16 Marines with stem. And but we haven't really seen too much of it here from MarineLorD, except from when he did that push. He
had a late stem. He also went for that Hellbat tech, but then didn't use it in a push, just kind of poked a little bit. Obviously that kind of hurt his early game in a way. He built a different style of composition than we see in Korea, but if you look at Korea as like what we accept to be true and correct, like from our point of view, living here and casting these games, he's behind because he chose a composition that is not meta and it didn't do damage. The creep is here. I mean, that's the reason why it's this far up. He is now going to come over and try to clear that away, but the early game he definitely did not really put much heavy pressure. The Hellions did stop the creep on the left side a little bit, but once the Speedlings started harassing him, he couldn't touch the creep at all for such a long time. And it's an issue.
Yeah. I really like the consistent harassment with the Liberators. He can actually go from, base number 5 to base number 3, back and forth, just like ping pong, and be really annoying and cut down on the drone count. He's even coming into the 4th base too.
It's actually a little bit crazy how much damage he's able to get with this, considering that there are so many Corruptors out on the map. Look at this. I mean, he's killing Larva too. He's killing, might even get this Queen here. Looks like he will. This Corruptor finally comes back into range. The 14, 15 drones go down, and MarineLorD with this Liberator harass might get himself back into this game. Even going to kill his hatch, no cancel. All right, we might have a game here.
Yeah, he's hanging on. The only thing that kind of worries me is that I'd like to see him. It's going to be really hard for him to take another base, is what I'm trying to say. And unless he floats his natural all the way over to the top left. And even then, I mean, the Ling run-bys were doing critical damage at his 3rd base. How is he going to hold and, protect that other base?
Definitely not going to be easy. 4 Ultras here just chilling with the army. There's a lot of Widowmines here. MarineLorD is definitely not going to die anytime soon. But what may happen is he might be starved out, as you said, with no bases. This should be shut down really hard. The Corruptor's coming over.
He's really focused on that. I
don't even know if that was absolutely necessary to do, but he did it. Got that cleared up here. 8 drones still go down as MarineLorD is on point with that. That was pretty impressive. I mean, he is getting some serious damage done. He still has a stable economy. The worry, of course, is once he mines out of minerals. That base is lifted, as you said, the natural, and it is heading over.
He's not mining gas right now. Look at that. He's got 19 gas. It's not moving. Okay, there he goes. Hasn't taken the gas at either of the bases, actually, that he's at right now.
That's kind of a problem. And I think that's kind of his multitasking failing him a little bit here. Another yank on this, grabs a Liberator. He does need to take those refineries. He has plenty of money for it, and if he doesn't take them, he will not be able to replace his Liberators, which is really what he's going to be spending his gas on. He's not making that many Marauders, and that's okay. But the Liberators are a big problem. Now he has 6 gas, and I think we'll see the refineries taken soon. Okay, takes them down here at the 3rd base.
There he goes. And a bit of a run by now into the 4th.
Actually going to deny these refineries, at least the one on the right side, killing several SCVs. And MarineLorD is actually going to start to move forward here onto the creep and fight. Transfuse is keeping these alive. A huge stim on that army to go over and chase these Lings away. He has plenty of medevacs. It's not going to be too big of a deal, but I like this drop. Like, he's got this one here on the left side. He's got the one in the natural.
Those bailings did nothing.
Yeah, he actually can just drop those units right back out, in fact.
Picks him up. He's going to deny mining over here. He actually does get the base all the way on the left side of the map, the top left. That's actually his natural orbital. So
yeah,
it made the long flight, the long journey up here, and he can mule this up.
That was a migration of the CC right there. It's like the furthest CC flight we've ever seen, barring a base trade. Now, this army is very powerful, obviously on both sides. It's really about the micro here. MarineLorD going on creep, dropping down those liberation zones, now just trying to kite against these ultras, but they are just wiped away by the corruptors, and now this bioforce is so tiny. Here comes the second set of it. He actually needs to start attacking. He will now fight here and pick off some of these ultras, but the corruptor count is so high.
Solar actually playing it very passively too. He's like, no, I'm not going to overcommit here. I did a bit of damage. I need to get my queens in here if I want to fight with my ultras. So he's going to take it slow, wait for the queens to group up.
Yeah, he wants to get those ultras back up to full health before they fight again. Eventually these Marines are going to run out of room to kite. GG! Solar takes that first game. Definitely having some trouble with the harass in the mid to late game, the Liberators and the drops, but controlled the early game so well there that it was tough for MarineLorD to really put any pressure on him, and he finally found a way to use those Liberators, use those drops on the satellite bases, but the Hellion choice was cool to kill some of the creep. He found some damage with it, but he had a late stim, couldn't deny the early creep, so the creep he was denying was kind of like the mid-tier creep, and also he lost a lot of SCVs to that run by the second one where he couldn't raise the depot. That really hurt him going forward.
Yeah, so we are going to be jumping into game number 2 now on Galactic Process, another very big map here. We'll see if MarineLorD can come back. Let's hope he doesn't get 0-4 here, but Solar, a very strong opponent, playing a great game. Let's go into game number 2, guys, on Galactic Process.